Before starting a game of pickleball, I like to make sure that all my joints are warmed up. So I start at the ankles with some dorsiflexion. I lift my toes up towards my knees as high as I can, keeping my heels connected to the floor. I'm going to do that for 10 reps before switching into plantar flexion, where I lift my heels off the ground, keeping my toes connected. After 10 repetitions, I'm going to switch and do an alternating movement with my feet. I'm going to lift my heel up on my right side and my toes up on my left side before alternating. I'm going to do this for 10 reps. This is a little challenging for coordination, but it's a good skill to develop. Make sure to work through full range of motion with this one. After you hit 10 repetitions, then we can switch into an inversion, eversion. Considering that there's a lot of lateral movement in pickleball, we want to make sure that we are properly warming up the muscles on the outside of the ankles, the stabilizing muscles, and we do that by lifting our arches up towards the ceiling, dropping our arches in towards the ground. We can do this one for 10 repetitions, and you'll feel the stretching on the outside and inside of your ankles. Next, we're going to improve the proprioception of your knees by doing these knee circles, keeping the legs and feet together. We bend forward at the hip, keeping the back straight. And I like to work into about 15 repetitions in one direction. After the 15 reps, we can switch and do counterclockwise rotation, making sure that you're keeping your heels connected to the ground and that you're keeping your back straight. Next, I'm going to warm up my hips by doing these standing knee raises where I lift my knee up to hip level going forward. I'm going to do this for 8 repetitions. After I hit 8, I can move the leg across the midline of my body, doing 8 repetitions in this direction. Hands can go on the hips, the shoulders, or they can go out to the side, whatever is most challenging. For some clients who struggle with balance, sometimes I have them hold onto a wall or a chair. After the 8 reps, I then move into more of an external rotation movement. I bring my legs out to the side, going for 8 reps. Once that's done, then I can switch legs. Unfortunately, with pickleball, I see a lot of lower back injuries. I think it's important to properly warm up the lumbar spine. These translations are a good way to do so. I keep my legs wide. I tuck my tailbone under the body, keeping my pelvis still. I'm translating my spine over my thigh. So I think about bringing my belly button over to that thigh, keeping my arm up at 45 degrees, and I do 10 reps on each side. Next, I warm up my shoulders by working with a little internal and external rotation. Having my paddle in my hand, I'm going to bring my arm over my head, reaching down towards my shoulder blades as far as I can, and then bringing my arm out in a wide circular motion, bringing my hand behind my lower back, reaching up towards my shoulder blade. And I like to do this for about 8 repetitions before switching to the other arm. A paddle isn't needed. You can do it with just your hand. And just as we warmed up the ankle and the knee, it's important that we also warm up our wrist before playing a game of pickleball. It's a lot of tension that the wrists go through as you're constantly hitting the ball back and forth. So for this one, I put the paddle on my forearm just to show you that there shouldn't be any movement coming from that part of the arm. We're only creating circles with the wrist itself, going into flexion and extension, bringing the hand out to the side and then back in towards the midline. Create circles for 5 reps in one direction, and then I switch after those 5 reps. After that, then I can switch arms and then do the other side. And lastly, to warm up the entire body and to get that heart rate up, I'm going to do standing cross crunches where I bring my elbow across my midline as well as my opposite knee, trying to make contact between those 2 points or as close as I can. And I'm going to do this for 20 repetitions. After that, I'm ready to have a great day of playing.